All right, what's up, my indigenous people? Welcome back. Thank you guys for watching my last video. Thank you guys for commenting. You guys have inspired me to make part 2 of the family video, except I'm going to kind of shift away from the familial roles, and I'm going to talk more about one characteristic that, is really common on the Navajo Nation and amongst Navajo families. And that characteristic is humor. You'll walk into any Navajo dinner, Navajo party, whatever you want to call it, and you will always see the family just laughing their butts off, just giggling and joking and teasing each other and just having a grand old time. And most of the time, they're not even like speaking in English, they're talking in Navajo. And let me tell you, those jokes are the best. Navajo jokes, if you can pick up on even just a little sentence of what they're saying, most of the time it's the dirtiest joke you've ever heard. And it's great. It's hilarious, it's humorous, and that's one of the biggest characteristics that you see in Navajo families on the Navajo Nation, and that's it's humor, it's being lighthearted. I think that's also one of the reasons why Navajo families are so close and so cohesive, and you can really rely on your family for a lot of things. It's because people aren't lighthearted, they don't take things to heart, and they're quick to tease each other and stuff like that. So it makes things a little less serious and a little more fun. So with that being said, I wanted to just kind of talk about my own experience of a joke that was played on me when I was a kid. So I used to spend my time at my great grandparents' house. A lot of the time, I would spend my summers out there, my weekends out there, and I would just have a lot of fun out there, So one summer, I believe, it was when we first started castrating some of our calves. We went out there for a night or two, and we were just hanging out with our cousins, hanging out with our family, and just hanging out. And one day we were castrating some of our calves, right? And I was still young, my cousins were still young, my brothers were still young, so we didn't really help out with that. We watched for a little bit, and then we walked off. Then we went adventuring. We went into the little forest around my great-grandparents' house. We were building forts. We were playing in the dirt. We were playing army men and stuff like that, playing tag, hide and seek, anything, capture the flag. If we had paintball guns and BB guns, I'm sure we would have done the same, but instead, we use sticks because it's the res, it's what you do. And so we did that. We were out there just playing for hours on end. And then finally you hear one of my grandmas calling, "Hey, come eat, boys, come eat. Get in here, food's ready." So, we all started going in there. Me immediately dashed to the door. I did not hesitate. I started booking it because I was a chubby little boy. I love food. Pretty much all my baby pictures, you're going to see me with some form of food in my hand. And my number one thing was hot dogs. And, besides that, I always had food. And if the opportunity arose, I would dart to the food. I became a sprint runner, and I just ran to the food. So I would do that. And I was the first one in line. I went into the house, washed my hands real quick. We didn't have running water, so what we did was we poured our water into a little pail, splashed our hands in the water, rubbed the dirt off, grabbed the bar of soap, scrubbed it, splashed it back in the water, shook it off, dried it off, got ready to eat. So that's what I did, and I was the first one. Grabbed my plate, and I just saw this bowl. It was like, one of the bowls you mix dough with, one of the bowls you put fruit salad in, stuff like that. So it was this big bowl just full of, it was like half full maybe, of these weird looking balls of meat. And they weren't perfectly circular. They were probably they were weird shape. And they didn't look like anything I'd seen before. And I was like, "Hey, what are these?" And my older brother, it looked like he knew what it was. He kind of looked at it and he was like, he paused right before he could say anything. One of my grandmas had a smirk on her face. He's like, "Oh, those are Rocky Mountain oysters." And I was like, "Rocky Mountain?" I was like, what's that?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, we got those from the the rivers up in Colorado. I bought it at Sam's Club. That's where they came from. Oysters are like those things in the sea, like clams. You open them up, eat out the meat or whatever. So I didn't know anything about the world. I haven't tried anything crazy at that point in my life. I think I stuck with just things that you could get at bashes, probably. Steaks, pork, sheep, and chicken. Never tried anything from the sea. I didn't even think I thought about trying crab. I think the craziest thing I tried was shrimp, and I did not like it. So that's kind of where I was at that time in my life. I was like, all right, I'll try it. It's kind of weird. I've never really tried anything like that. And my younger brothers, my younger brother and my cousins, they were like, oh, I don't want to try it. I don't think I'll like oysters because, like me, they didn't really try anything crazy yet. And my older brother just said, I don't want it. And he was kind of in on the joke. But at the same time, he really wasn't. You'll find out a little bit later. Anyway, so I grabbed one of the Rocky Mountain oysters and I put some salt on it. I took a bite. It was soft, it was tender, and it just tasted like a ball of meat. It didn't taste like anything. It wasn't crazy, and it just tasted good because I like meat. I always like meat. So finished the rest of it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I was like, you guys got to try this. Telling my cousins and my younger brother, I was like, this is pretty good. So they each grabbed one, and they were still kind of scared to try it. It was like a little kid trying to bite it. They were nipping at it, and me, I grabbed like 3, 4, put on my plate, dumped some salt on them, and I started eating them. And then I got to probably my 6th one. And then my brother was like, he's like, you guys are gross. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you're telling them these are Rocky Mountain oysters. He's like, those aren't oysters. Those didn't come from the rivers in Colorado. Those came from bull balls. He's like, remember we were castrating the bulls today? Those are bull balls. You're eating bull nuts. And I was like, what? I was like, no way. These aren't bull balls. There's no way. I was like, these are too good. Balls wouldn't taste good. So, I was in complete disbelief, and I was like, hey mom, these are not bull balls, right? These are just Rocky Mountain oysters that came from the rivers, right? And she started laughing. Everyone started laughing. Everyone who was in the room was just laughing. My younger brother spit out what he had in his mouth. My cousins looked grossed out because they already finished the one that they had. And me, I had already downed 6, and I was about to down some more. And then as my mom was laughing, one of my grandmas, she was laughing, and she said, oh, just tell him. And it turns out my older brother was right, and the reason why he didn't eat it is because he did not want to put some bull balls in his mouth. And I can't blame him, but at the same time, they tasted pretty good. So I guess that's my first time getting pranked by the entire family, and trying Rocky Mountain oysters or bull testicles or bull balls or bull nuts or bull McNuggets, whatever you want to call them. That was my first time trying them. And, I ended up kind of really grossed out, grabbed the soda, I ran outside, I gargled it, I was spitting it out, trying to make myself throw up. But in the back of my mind, it didn't taste that bad, And I just tried to forget about the whole thing. I tried to wipe it off. I didn't want to go inside because everyone was just teasing me about it. And they were teasing my younger brother and my cousins too, but I ate the most, so of course I got the most of it. And they're also teasing my older brother because of how mad he got. He always had my back. He always has my back still today. And he still tried to have my back in that situation. I think he just got sick of seeing it. And he got mad at them, and they finally gave in and let me know about the prank. So that's kind of what happened, and that's a good example of humor on Navajo Nation, on Navajo Families. You're never too old, you're never too young to be the butt end of a prank or a joke. So that's one of the great things. And I think that's the reason why a lot of Navajo people are lighthearted, are comedians, are funny. That's why you'll be scrolling down Facebook yard sale on the Kayenta page or Tuba City page, and someone will post, something, and you'll have like 10 or 12 people just roasting them, putting memes, being trolls. It's because it's the lighthearted environment. We're lighthearted people. We're funny. That's just our dynamic. So, if you guys have any funny stories, let me know down in the comments below. I just want to do a quick reminder too that I'm still getting rid of t-shirts. Not getting rid of. They're still trying to sell some t-shirts. Haven't sold any. It's cool. No worries. But there's a link down in the description below. Please check it out at least. You don't have to buy. Just at least look at it. The site is safe. So just check it out. Give it a little look and let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time.